During the holidays, there is an abundance of cookies and treats everywhere we turn. But what about our four-legged family members? Don't you want them to have a festive snack as well? I thought you would. So we turn to our baking expert and horse owner, Susan Skinner. Hey, anybody home?
Hey!
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good. Do you remember the time you said mi casa y su casa?
No, I do. I remember that, yeah.
All right, well, hopefully you will not regret it.
Never.
Because
No, really, I meant it.
she says that because the camera is on. All right, Susan, we're gonna make some holiday cookies for our favorite four-legged friends,
We
right?
are, yep.
Okay.
Yep.
What are we making?
We are making PACE-ALICIOUS peppermint cookies. Now, you don't just have to give them to your pacers. You can give them to your trotters, too.
Okay, good to know. Because we don't want like the trotting enthusiasts out there being, what's up with that?
Yeah, no, I mean, my favorites are the pacers, but yeah, they're good for the trotters, too.
Okay, so I guess the first thing we have to find out is what do we put in these cookies?
Okay, great. Well, first we have, obviously, a carrot. We have 1 carrot shredded. We also have apples, 1 apple shredded. We have 2 cups of molasses. We have 2.5 cups of oats. We have 2 tablespoons of oil. And we also have flour. This is a 1/2 cup of that. And we have some peppermints.
All right, we know the ingredients. What's next?
All right, so we have to heat the oven first. So we're gonna go ahead and turn that on. We're gonna turn it to 350. Then we need to get, that means it's ready. That's TV magic. Then we need to get our cookie sheet ready. So you can either spray it with non-stick baking spray, or you can just use parchment paper. We're going to use the baking spray today. Okay, so that's done. Now we're going to make some Christmas magic happen in a bowl.
Now it's time to get cracking with these ingredients. So what do we put together here?
So first we're gonna put in our carrots. We're going to put in our apples. We're going to add our molasses. Sticky, but anything molasses, usually the horses really like, so. All right, we've got the molasses. Now we're going to add in our oats. Okay, so when you add those ingredients, we're going to mix it all up. And while I'm mixing, now would be a good time to throw in our little disclaimer, and that is anytime you're adding something new to your horse's diet or giving them treats, you should consult your veterinarian. And also, you don't really want to overdo it with the treats, so, I mean, they are yummy, but don't go crazy. Give it to them in moderation. We have that pretty good and mixed up. So now that that's all together, because the molasses is so heavy, I add the oil after the molasses. So it makes it just a little bit easier. Like once the oil gets in there and like really gets it wet, it's pretty easy to stir up. For the flour, the recipe calls for a 1/2 cup, but the flour is basically kind of to thicken it up just a little bit depending on how wet your batch of cookies are. So you may not need the whole 1/2 cup of flour. So we're gonna add it a little bit at a time, kind of stir it up and go from there. You don't want it real wet, but obviously we don't want it dry either. So I think I'm gonna need a little bit more flour. So like I said, that's just kind of to hold it together. And okay, so now we are ready to put our cookies on the cookie sheet. So we have a little handy dandy ice cream scooper, and it's a pretty good size. I think it's appropriate for horse treats. So we're just gonna kind of put it on there like that. Once we have them on our cookie sheet, we're just going to flatten down the tops a little bit so they cook evenly and don't burn on the top. Like that. They really do smell good. Okay, so now we're gonna put them in the oven and we're gonna bake them for about 30 minutes. And while they are baking, you could probably catch up on post time if you have any episodes DVR'd.
Or on YouTube.
Oh, absolutely, or YouTube.
Susan, they smell like they're done. Do you think they're ready?
I think so. Oh, and they look great. Oh yeah, I think they're definitely done. Okay, so right when you bring them out while they're still warm, we're actually going to place a peppermint on top of each one. We're gonna kind of push it down into it. And as it cools, it'll harden around your peppermint. I'm not really sure why horses like peppermint. I know they have a fragile digestive system, and mint is good for digestive, so it's like they instinctively know it's good for them. Okay, so I think that's it. I think they look great. They smell really yummy. I hope you guys make them so you can experience the aroma for yourself. We did make these for our four-legged horses, but reindeer also have 4 legs, and rumor has it that they are fond of peppermint too, so you can put one out for them too. So that's it. Thank you so much for having me. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.